everybody, this is Squiddersnaz and we're here for the 7th day of Inktober. Today's prompt was shy. I had some difficulties coming up with the idea. I just couldn't think of anything which is very, really original. Like, I knew I wanted to do a shy robot, but I didn't know how I would communicate the fact that the robot was shy. So I looked up just the word shy on Google, and most of what came up were people covering their eyes in some form or another. And I thought this was strange because I don't think that really conveys shyness. Like, shyness is wanting to express yourself, wanting to put yourself out in the world, but holding yourself back for fear of, because you're scared of doing so. And covering your eyes is more like not wanting to express yourself and put yourself out. So, I mean, books are stereotypically things which are characterized of introverts. It's a generalization, but I often find that I make a lot of generalizations when I'm drawing because it's how you communicate to an audience. And I originally had sort of more like a dome-shaped R2-D2 sort of robot, but I changed it to a more blocky one, and I added in the wings to symbolize the innocence, I suppose. So I've done robots like this before a bit, and I also wanted to experiment a lot with patterns. So on the right you can see my sketch pad, which I've just drawn in some pattern samples which I found in a book about Zentangles actually, and I'm just sampling some of those to use in the drawing. I feel like I did use a little bit too much pattern, so it got a little bit overloaded, but I tried to not have patterns on the robot so that it would kind of contrast. So I'll talk more about that later. I used the 0.1 Unipin fine liner for the patterns and a 0.3 for the outlines. But later on I'm going to outline the entire thing in 0.5 outline pens, just to try and ground it. Also, I'm really sorry that my head keeps popping in and out of the frame. I actually had to cut out quite a bit of the video because it's just like my head was basically covering the entire thing, and it's a bit embarrassing. I think it's just because I was using so many fine patterns that I had to have my nose constantly to the thing to be able to control it, and it must look really weird, but anyway. So later on I add in a textured background using some brush pens which I've got, and they're like grayscale, and I don't use them very often because they're not very good for layering, but I think the background actually worked really well because it looks kind of like an ink wash, but it's a lot more textured, and like it wouldn't work well in every scenario, but I liked it I liked it quite a lot with this particular scenario, so that's a good thing. It's a nice grayscale thing, but it's a lot so you can put in patterns, but it's a lot subtler than using my black outliner, which I have used in previous videos. So final thoughts on this. I liked the irony of the book cover, and oh, I haven't spoken about the book cover. That's what I was supposed to talk about, right? So I wrote how to be confident on the book cover, which you might not be able to see because it's a fairly low resolution video, but I don't often use text in my artworks because I try and have the picture speak for itself, but I thought adding text in would make it kind of more ironic, and it was a nice touch. And as I said before, I really like the textured background, and although I could fix the overload of patterns in future, so I won't add quite as many patterns, I'll just keep it for the focal points. Yeah, that was one of the things which didn't work so well, but otherwise I was pretty happy with this, and it was fun to do, and it didn't take too long. Like, I think the full thing took around 20 minutes. So that's about to bring this video to a close. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. If you liked it, make sure to leave a comment and subscribe, and if you really liked it, consider supporting me on Patreon, because at the moment I've got one supporter. It's a little bit of a joke. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.